And we're back with green. We're going to start with a PR. This is a PR Izuna.
Showstopper.
This is a 1-1-5-5, cannot be reversed by cost 0 or lower characters. Or rather, if the cost of the character opposite this is 0 or lower, this cannot reverse. Obviously, this is extremely bad against, early summons, level 3 on reverse combos, etc. And is incredibly good against 1-0 on reverse combos. It's notably quite bad against 2-1 combos like P5's Joker,
Or Summer
and
Pockets, or
Summer Pocket Shiroha,
Engram.
um, yeah, pretty much. Um,
I think this kind
this
of
is the
card has
sort of card,
just become a lot worse recently.
yeah, I think so. This has been, for me, this has been relegated to like theme slash waifu deck filler. And that's basically the only place I'm playing these nowadays.
Like in the end, the only difference, functionally, the only difference between this and like a big 1-1 would be like there's like no functional difference. Rather, sorry.
Well,
If you're playing like
Eren, like super huge Eren with
sure,
perfect hand beats over big
yeah,
1-1.
sure. It's not that hard for AOT to get the hand, but like, it takes a very specific meta for the one big 1-1 to be functionally different from this 1-1.
Yeah, and that's not good enough for this card to see play.
Additionally,
Um,
this kind of 1-1 also does not win field. Like it won't kill. It sometimes will not kill your
no.
opponent's cards, which is also kind
Yes.
of unfortunate.
This is specifically very bad against normal large 1-1s.
Yes.
So I think we relegate this to bad standby target grade because I think in a pinch that's what it really is, a bad standby target. It's just got no offensive presence. This is the only green double R, I think. Phil
Oh, is it really?
Fee?
No, there's another double R.
Is
There's
there?
two more.
Oh, I thought green was small. Never mind. Fee Neil Valen. When this attacks, if you have one or few other characters, mill the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower, put it in the slot in the back row. And when this is reversed, clock bomb your level 0 opponents.
Cool card.
I still don't think I like it's fine. I still don't think clock bombs are good. I do think the first effect is fine. Um,
I think the first effect makes it worth playing, right? It's like, especially
it's
in
like
conjunction with something like the runner.
um, I wouldn't play this with the runner because in my eyes, clock bomb has practically no worth. And as a plussing 0, I'd much rather just have the runner.
You just run both.
Um,
Are people running both? Let me just see if people are running both.
I don't know, maybe they are, but a lot of
They are
people
running
value
both.
clock.
They are running both.
Yeah, but people actually value the clock bomb effect. Like
Well, I
I
mean,
know
if you
people.
so if you're looking for an answer to opposing, you know, level zeros, right? The other thing about this card, right, is that I mean, UA mentioned it before. No game has this problem where its level zeros can't actually kill anything,
I mean, sure.
right? And this
Is
is
that like what does that even mean though? Does that like it because your opponent is probably going to sculpt anyway. Like if they're running an oversize, you can't kill it except with this, which is like a 2 of. If they're running a runner, you
no
can't
people
kill
are
it either
playing like
way.
four
So
of this. They're playing like four of
okay,
this and like four of the runner.
no game has a really bad level 0 spread. Then. um,
I think it's fine.
I think it's barely
I
like
think it's
it's
only
this.
fine because this card has the ability to plus you. Because like the synergy with the runner is obvious, right? You
Yeah, it
have
makes the runner worse because the opponent can just have 2 cards to kill the runner and leave a.
essentially have three cards to hit the level zero, right?
Uh, no.
Yeah, you do. Oh wait, no, sorry, you only have
You
two cards.
rearrange. You don't get rid of them.
Two cards.
Um,
Sorry, you have two
look,
cards. You go two cards deep.
I'm on board. I'm on board with cards like this when the scry is built into this card specifically, like Shizuru,
Okay, but
basically.
like not fair
Like,
enough. But
okay, if I'm going first I need to open both copies for this card to be anything more than binder filler. Or like a shot in the dark. And I don't think that's good enough. I'd much rather only need to open runner. It's like, there's no way you're gonna like Ricky for this or get this in any way other than natural clock drawing. And that means you need 2 cards. Even if you play them as 4-ofs, you need 1 of each of the 4-ofs. And the chance of that aren't particularly high in the first turn and a half, or 2 turns even. And I'm not particularly convinced that's a good way to go about level 0. Like, on this card's merits alone, it is not a bad card. Like, if I was playing a deck that ran the runner, and then I also ran, like, the stupid mind game card or comparable card that scries, right? Like, any card that scries,
Sure.
doesn't have to be the stupid mind game card. Then this card goes up a lot for me, because I'm already running those cards. But if this card is, like, if it's only good with 4 other cards in the deck, plus the Brainstorm, because
Sure.
that card also lets you look at the top,
Okay.
then I'm not convinced it's actually that good. Because if you don't have those cards, if this is your only level 0, it's
what
just
are the
going in
chances?
to die.
I mean, since we've expanded it to include the runner, expanded to include the Brainstorm, right? That's a lot of cards.
But the Brainstorm's not actually very helpful with this. It doesn't let you rearrange.
I
You
mean,
just
turn
look at
1,
the
right?
top. Turn 1, sure, but what are you going to do? Not attack with this?
I mean, it would depend on whether you went first.
Are you
a
going to
second.
not attack with
Wait a
this?
second. What? The Brainstorm lets you mill it away.
Okay, you have 1 more shot then.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Okay, it's top or bottom.
Yeah,
Sure.
top or
Okay,
bottom,
so
yeah.
you have. Okay, so you have. All right, so you're running 8 cards that make this card somewhat. Does that make it good enough? I'd have to run the stats at that point.
I think intuitively for me, it would make it worth it to play at higher counts. And this is also
See, the thing is-
keeping in mind that this deck has no way of killing anything. Like even like against this deck, right? An Azusa or something, a drop searcher becomes an oversize. Devil +1.
Okay.
Or something.
I
Like,
don't
like your
value-
opponent could just play like some random
like.
thing.
So. All right, sure. I'll give this card a pass. That's fine. If the clock bomb effect has value, then this card goes from being like begrudgingly playable in conjunction with other cards to being actually a card that is not embarrassing. This card has no benefit in the late game, and it would be the first thing to go if I need to make cuts for anything else. But because it works well with other level 0s that you're already playing, like, I still don't like the fact you have to open 2 specific level 0s. Imagine, like, if a Ricky could only be a Ricky if you had the Brainstorm on field as well. Like, would you play a card like that? I'm not sure you would. Like, it's not just needing the other card to
the Ricky would presumably do something else, right?
I don't know. It attacks and gives something 500.
No, I mean, it would do
Look,
something it would do something different. Like, I don't know, like what's a, like, say it's an oversize or something.
Let's put it this way. I value attacking and giving something 500, and clock bombing level 0s.
Right. It would depend on what else this card does. This theoretical Ricky card. Like, say this Ricky card, I don't know, was
like
an oversize
I'm
or a runner.
I am
or
practically not. Did you? What did you just say?
Say this Ricky was a runner, right?
Yeah, let's print a Ricky runner and see how that goes.
Yeah, and the Ricky is conditional based on, it requires some card.
I mean, sure, if the card is already good enough to play, then yeah, but a clock bomb is not good enough to already play in most scenarios. Even in this deck, I'm pretty sure there are better cards to play. Like, I actually just value clock bombs as barely anything.
Sure.
I guess that's something I really need to get across. Even in context, I'm still not convinced it's like the best choice or anything. And let's not make any mistakes here. All of this, like working all of this out, you still need a level 0 on your top 2 cards. And
Sure.
that's not necessarily going to be there. And at that point, well, look, we have to give this card some credit, and just we've been assuming that it pluses with no conditions other than needing something else so far. But realistically, there are a lot more conditions than that. Maybe this card is better in practice than it is in theory. I am hesitant to give this a good grade though. Like, I'm giving this a C+, because if I were to build, say, No Game No Life, I don't think I would run this card. Like, I would much rather dedicate extra slots to friggin' 4/5 Sorashiro if I had to. Like, instead of running... Look, if I wasn't fixing for green, and I wasn't running, like, other stuff, I would just play the 4/5s. Because they don't just kill things, they also have field presence. They are in, you know, in every meta that isn't running freaking 4 clock bombs, a more guaranteed plus. Like the success case on those cards is actually, in my opinion, much higher than the success case on this. Because
Sure,
let's also add that if you'd have like the runner or brainstorm or whatever in your hand already, that's one less target for the effect. So I'm you know, all these tiny disadvantages, in addition to the big hurdle of needing a level 0 in the top 2, you know, it just makes me think that my evaluations on this card is correct. It's not particularly good. And if this is the best, like, No Game No Life has to offer, then I think that's an indication of where I think the set stands.
That would
I'm
not be
staying with C+.
unfair. That would not be an unfair conclusion to reach about the set as a whole.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm reaching that conclusion based purely on the fact they run 4 of this card. Maybe some people can disagree. I don't know. That's why it's an opinion. That's why you don't take what we say as gospel. That's why you play the cards and see how they are.
I myself like the level 0 effect a lot, so like the milling for a level 0 effect. So
I am almost certain I play that effect more than you, and
what
I
are you
don't
talking?
think it's
What? No, there's no way. I play Milky
the
Holmes.
deck I play the most these days is actually To Love Ru Aliens.
I play
and that
Milky
deck
Holmes.
plays 4.
Excuse me. I play 4 of that too.
Yeah, but you don't play. Whereas I think I play sometimes.
I definitely play now. It's almost
Busy playing
the start of the season.
Yeah, but Milky Holmes isn't going to be in the English circuit. Right. Izuna, I don't know, man. If you're a lolicon, you play this card. If you aren't, you don't. This is a 329k heal. It's early play if you've got 4 more game characters, and it gains 1k if you have 4 back row. Well, specifically against 500 per back row. No, it's not a bad card, but it's like worse than all your other options, right?
Wait, what are the other options? Let me look at the other options before I conclude that this is a B minus. What is it like? What exactly are the other options? Did we cover any so far?
I thought there were other options.
I don't think there are, or there might be. I might be misrepresenting this.
The Jibril's not an early play, right?
No, it's
Just
not.
making sure.
That'd be so sick.
Would it? It would be like, nah.
There's a
Standby
Shiro early play, which is not very good. It's like the setup for the level 3 combo, which is...
I guess the real question is, does this card see play? Like, is this played in No Game No Life?
Yes. No? No. I don't think so.
So,
I don't think
10-5 non-cantripping early plays.
Oh, I see. It's like sparingly played, I guess. It's like
Okay, but it's a 10-5 non-cantripping early play in a deck that doesn't have like a critical mass of early play heals. So healing at level 2 is, it's not particularly special. It's decompression at a point where it still might matter. It's not that big. It clashes with
Uh,
the standby game plan of wanting to have an empty row or empty slots. Um,
I think that the condition, because the condition is so easy.
it doesn't work with standby.
Well, sure, but like but if you're in a situation where, so like, there are some situations where you really do want an early play heal. Those
I
situations
mean,
don't come up. So basically, right, this is a safe search because it's like gonna be a heal later or whatever. It's but if you do need it, if you do need to heal like now, in the event that you know the heal would dramatically affect your chances of refreshing with your clock, for example. This is like a perfectly fine card to have in your hand at that point.
yeah, I mean
The
that's why I give it B
condition,
minus.
yeah, and in that case, the condition, like regardless of what standby stuff you're running, I think even at that point, right, you're not like generally looking for the high value standby
Yeah,
triggers
I
anyways,
mean
right?
you can. Yeah, that's fair. Uh, I still don't think this card is
Hmm.
anything better than like a B
Yeah,
minus. It's better
I
than a
don't know.
C
Yeah,
plus.
I don't think it's
It's not a C.
I don't think it's much better than the B minus grade. It's just
It's good in. It's good enough to not be a C.
yeah, because I saw some people. I've seen some. I was seeing some lists running like a split of this and the Gibral, which I think is like totally reasonable.
Yeah, I guess. I, that's a thing the Japanese love to do though. They love to split their heels and not really focus on anything.
I
Like
think it's
that's why you
fine.
see.
I think it's fine, right?
Look, with some decks I agree, but those decks all tend to be weaker. Like I agree
I
with
don't
it.
think anyone is saying no game is a strong set, but yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that's not really a philosophy you take to decks with strong heals. Like in rewrite, you just play 4 Shizurus. That's what you do. I
Uh,
know Japan likes to play 3 Shizurus and 4 Kotoris, but they're wrong, so don't mind
I
that.
mean, if I could run, if that deck could run more healers, I would. Like,
You could run an
like
extra
that deck
set
makes
one
very good
Lucia.
use of the extra stock. So like, why not run more healers? It is
Uh,
objectively your best alternate healer because like everything else sucks.
You're not wrong. What are we talking about? Rewrite or are we
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
late
rewrite.
game
I'm
no
talking about
life?
rewrite. I'm talking about rewrite.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you see like Saikano as well, where you've got people playing one early play.
Hmm.
What's her name? Kato and like 2 TD Utaha for whatever reason. Anyway, B minus. Next card. Kurami Zel, another level 3. 3/2 when you play it from hand to stage. Search a deck for a game character, add it to your hand. Why can't this be the early summon?
Um.
And when the battle opponent of this reversed, if you have what is most likely a bar in the climax zone, you can put the battle opponent in clock.
Is it a bar? Day of
I'm
Promise long past.
it,
It
yeah, the
is
hyperlink died.
a wow.
Is it a bag?
It's no. It's a green
Is it
split. It's a green split two
3K
soul.
1 soul?
3K. Is it
What?
3K one soul? Yeah, sorry. 3K
Oh,
one soul.
cards.
Sorry. Green 3K
3K
one
3K
soul.
1. Um, I don't know. This
I don't
card
know how much I like that.
it needs you to run like a mediocre trigger. Um, and the effect, I think, once you've played this card and gotten a character from your deck, I think you've gotten most of the value out of this card.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
But at
gonna
that
give this a
point,
C plus
it's like
as a tutor.
I don't even think
No, I'm giving a
is
C
this
plus
kind of
as a
search
tutor.
effect that good
It's
in a
like a
deck like
better drop
this?
searcher, man.
Oh, don't start. It's definitely not a better drop searcher. Excuse me.
Oh, it is objectively better.
No,
It
it's
has 2
not.
soul.
It costs one more stock.
Yeah, well, if you have stock problems, then you should get good. Next card, Izuna. Can we be like hit on YouTube if we have this card on
I
this?
hope not.
God, me too.
Uh,
001. Okay, let's just get past this as quickly as we can.
I'll just
Gives 500. 500 to. Are you gonna find the English version?
no.
500 to center middle, and then it has start up, pay one, tap two characters. Look at three cards from the top of your deck, add a game character you find there, put it in your hand. Put the rest in the waiting room, and you don't have to discard a card. It is a one cost plus from the top of your deck. That is really good. It is not good enough to make it better than the Brainstorm, but it is really good.
If this were just tap self, man, that would be.
If it was like tap self resonate with the EP healer or something like that, yeah, it'd still
like
be
that.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, you'd play it.
I don't know if you would, because
think
that'd
you'd
mean
play
you'd have
it.
to play a bunch of. You would do your best to accommodate it, but I'm not
Yes.
sure you would actually get that in there, because Union searches for Megumin, right? Whereas this does not. So you'd have to play 4, and then you'd be keeping this crappy card in your hand. Well, it's not crappy.
It's not
I guess.
crappy.
It's a card
It's usable.
fine.
It's definitely so usable. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
but
this card would be
it would be good in the late game at any rate.
sure.
Super
Yeah.
good in the late game.
Yeah.
Early
It's not
game,
like this
I'm
deck
not
is using
convinced.
that much stock to begin with. So
That's true. I actually think this card is really good. I don't think that the deck can be built in a way to accommodate this easily, but this is just a super good card.
actually, no.
All things
It's
known.
closest to though. I think I'll just give it a B.
It's just a one cost plus every turn. It's just super strong.
Yeah.
It does deny you brainstorms, but you are also milling 3, so that's not like the worst thing in the world. The thing you miss out on is the brainstorms. The fact that it's a scry 2, which is
You're also missing the selection, which it like adds up over time.
yeah, that's fair enough. But if you're hitting every single turn, you're doing it very early, then it's less of a problem than people make
Sure.
it to be. 004K, Kurami. All your other characters cannot side, and when this attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a climax, this gets -3K for the turn. Why are you giving it an F?
I don't want to run.
This is just
There's better
yeah,
cards.
but it's a 4K oversized.
There's a
This
4K
is like
with no.
5.
There is a 4K with basically no restriction.
Yeah,
Later.
but this one's
in blue.
green.
But you have
Yeah,
good.
this one's green.
filler.
Well, do you? No, the clock bomb sucks. This is like a C plus. This is a more guaranteed plus than the stupid clock bomb. I'll tell you that much. Like the downside of revealing climax to get -3K is barely a downside, because one, it does not happen nearly close to like even a majority, like even a significant minority. I don't think it happens anywhere near that frequently, and after like level 1, it doesn't matter at all. Like, so yeah, I don't know why you're giving it an F.
Fine.
It's not an F. It just isn't.
I just really don't like the no
right.
side attack thing, but it doesn't make the card
I mean,
an F.
it doesn't make it particularly bad. Like, you're mostly front attacking anyway. This dude, old man, when this is posted from hand to stage, look 2 cards from your opponent's deck, put them on top in the same order. Cheats. And when you accelerate, give a character on reverse, pay 1. If you do, search for a game character, add it to hand, and you can tap to
Ooh.
give someone 1/5.
We're
We haven't
getting
seen
to
any
the-
accelerate so far.
We're getting to the really sick combos very soon.
Alright, so this is just, some Excel World card that found itself in the wrong deck. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really rate this until I know how good Accelerate is, but my guess is that this is just like, it's support for like probably a mediocre engine, so I'm gonna go C-.
Yeah, that's a good
You went
guess.
C-2.
It is probably. It
Yeah.
is, I think, true.
I will come back and revise that if it is like good, but I don't think it is. Next one. This is not 02. This is Kurami. Girl character. Oh no,
Kurami
cool
Zell or
character.
something?
Cool character Kurami. Let's go. Garu Kara. Who cares? When it reverses its battle opponent, if you've got the gold bar in the climax zone, You can put one card from your deck, top card of your deck to stock, and reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, add it to hand.
Hmm.
It's Bunny Union.
And it even has the guaranteed pay 1+, except it's you can't use 2 of them in one turn.
C, maybe C minus. Yeah. Is this C minus? It's a freaking 6K that needs to reverse. This is probably just like a D.
Actually, this is like wait, this is really small. I'm gonna still give it a
Well,
C
the
minus,
guy,
but
the old man from before can put it up to like 7.5 or whatever.
dang, you're
But like,
running that accelerate card. Wait, but then you can't use your thing.
oh gods, God, this card freaking sucks. I don't want to play this card. Who wants to play this card? It's non-selective. It's like on a middling trigger that's like you play
Give it
because
D
you have
plus.
to. Whatever, man. This card kind of sucks. Izuna, Ambassador Elkia is Accelerate 1/0. At the start of your climax phase, you can accelerate by clocking the top card of your deck. If you do, this gains on reverse Minami effect. This is like a C minus. This is the same as the other card. This is about the same as the Kurami we just talked about, except it's got more obvious synergy with the old man. It doesn't need a climax, so you can feel free to just slam a bar and not feel bad about it, and that will get this card up to 7K, 8.5 with the old man.
This isn't big
And
enough.
as a result, sorry,
This isn't big enough.
you have to play other crap to make it big. Like 7.5 is plenty big because you get multiple pluses on one reverse. Plus, you can make it even bigger with 2 of it, but I don't think you want to pay 2 to +2 necessarily. Alright. Next card is is this supposed to combo with the clock?
Clock kick combo,
clock kick?
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so this is a 2/1 fee, level X, and then when the 3K split thingy is placed to climax zone, you can pay 1 to move one of your opponent's characters to an empty slot on their stage. Imagine if Armin wasn't hexproof.
This
Yeah, no, this card is
it's just it's okay.
I don't hate this, but the fact that it's tied to a climax that you probably aren't playing unless you're playing a theme deck makes me put this in the bad climax combos category. So this is just a D for me. Because it's just not a particularly good card until you have the other climax combo level 3, and that card, but like it isn't even that good. So yeah, this card is good with like the Izuna early play because it makes it kind of big, and it's on color, making everything very easy. But at that point, you've kind of penholed yourself into mono green, and that is, while it's not something I'll deduct points for, it's also not impressive in the slightest. Like, it's something any other level support can do.
Yeah.
Alright. Kurami, she's crying. That's kind of cute. 00500 gives all level 0 or lower characters in front 1k, so you can make your Sora Shiro 5/5s, which is mildly terrifying. And when you level up, you can pay 2. If you do, add a game character from your deck to hand. This is definitely not good enough. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, even if there's like a 107k that loses a level on field, that's still not enough to make me want to play this card. Oh, you guessed it right. That is the name of the card. 00500 fee. This is a clock bond to Kurami cool character, which is the that's the 1/0 combo. And on attack gives something 1k. So this can make that card slightly bigger. I still don't think that's good enough. There's already a D there. I'm gonna keep it as a D, I guess. So I don't think this is a very strong combo. Because I don't think the Kurami is particularly strong. Next card, Miko, representative of Werebeasts. 00500 you can, as a startup, pay 1 to sack this, to choose up to 1 character in your hand whose level is equal to or lower than your level, put it in this card's slots.
Mm,
Uh, we're never playing this, right? Like, this is
you don't
just
even
not
get
a
the
card.
non-play effect. It's kind
The
of.
value, yeah, the value is terrible. Like, every level 3 worth playing or worth cheating out has like a good effect. So unless you're getting it for free, it's not worth it.
Is
And
there a
all the
scenario where this card
tutus,
is good?
is there one?
Um,
Can't think
I
of
don't
one.
think so. This is just like worse than like a drop salvage or something, right?
Yeah, like all of the effects I can think of, like say the Harvest Fiesta Chihaya. This is basically like the cost of this is like the downside on those cards anyway, so it's
Ugh,
just not worth playing.
not very good.
All right, Izuna, we're beast going to zero
Yes,
zero.
this is the sick
On
card.
yeah, on Accelerate, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower, put it either on top or bottom of your stock. And Accelerate, so you can actually use its own Accelerate. At the start of your Climax phase, you can clock yourself. If you do, this gains 2k1 soul for the turn.
Sick.
So there were lots of memes about this, and how you could like stock 16 or some garbage. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm not gonna talk anymore about that.
I'll you
Oh
know,
no, it's not. It's not an F. This is like a D because you can play it in the Accelerate deck to sometimes get some random value and occupy a front row slot as an attacker. That being said, this is not a particularly good card.
it's a sick
It is
card.
certainly a card. It could certainly be broken, but that doesn't make it like
You use
a
it
good card.
to even if you can pay out your climaxes with the old man. It's pretty cool.
Mm, mm, mm,
And you know if it's gonna be a climax or not.
sure.
It's also cool.
It's not changing my
No,
grade.
it's just a neato card.
Alright, next card, Izuna, exceeding physical limits. When this attacks, if you have the green stocks on the climax zone, there are 5 or fewer cards in hand. Look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, add a game character you find there to your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. So, effects like this, most notably the Kato from Saikano, have
What was the
historically
Kato's
been very.
restriction?
I don't think it had one.
It didn't.
I don't remember it having
That
one.
doesn't sound right. Why does this have a restriction?
I don't know, because this is a 2016 card. Let me figure that out, actually. Like, did it have some, like, downside or something?
It was a common, right?
Let me find the card. It wasn't. Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
It
Here
was
we
an
go.
uncommon. What was the downside?
What? There is no downside.
Yeah,
You
I
look
told
up.
you.
You
In
look
fact,
at
it even,
one more card,
and it even
and
has
your
a
opponent
benefit.
can't play events until the end of their next turn.
Oh, that card is 500 smaller.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
Oh. Oh
confirmed.
no.
This is like a 2016 set.
No.
So
I didn't realize that
even
card
ignoring
prevented events. That's pretty sick, actually.
even ignoring all of that, these cards have historically been playable in decks that want to rush your opponent and hit them to a point where they're very uncomfortable and unprepared, and then they want to capitalize on that. We see that with the Saikano meme event deck where you hit yourself to level 2 and then early summon a bunch of stuff. So they're dealing with level 3s when they've just hit level 1, and that can throw them off balance. No Game No Life has nothing comparable to that. And as a result, this is not only inferior objectively, in a vacuum, but it's also just not a card with a home. It is like a free on attack 3-card Margaro, which means I'm going to give it a C. Like, that is still an effect which is not weak, but it is just not great. It doesn't have a home. It doesn't have a reason to exist. Like, you can't capitalize on anything as you can in, say, Saikano, or you can in like Little Busters in terms of aggressive pushes.
I really
Or
don't
like
like
Doodah.
this hand restriction.
It's not great.
I
You
mean,
kind of
it
have to
also
sack.
means like if you run, like say you run plussing trigger alongside this, right? Makes those worse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. It kind of forces you to play in a certain way, which may or may not be, best for you or the game state.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So,
I still don't. The card doesn't have a home. It's mediocre, but it's still like a fine effect. I'm giving it a C because who knows? It could be better than I think it is. Oh my god, why are there so many green climax combos? Izuna hates bathing, 105k. When this attacks, if you have, I don't know,
Gold
this is
bar.
probably a bag at this point.
This is a
Gold bar, sure. If you have a gold bar, you can pay 1. If you do, until the end of the opponent's next turn, this gains on. If this card was actually around in 2016, this might have been the meta combo.
Oh my god.
This gains the honor when front's attacked, bounce back to hand, and then reveal the top card of your deck if it's a game character added to hand. Well, that started off poorly, but ended very well. I think this card is a lot better than a lot of the other green combos. Even though it costs 1, it's still like
probably
potentially a plus, straight up plus.
It's like a pay 1,
not like
plus 2, right?
Yeah. Well, you're playing a climax, but after the climax, yeah. Yeah, I don't hate this card. It's really got no field presence whatsoever, but it's not a bad card at all. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, next card. Isn't it? Determined to win, 2-1, anti-change clock bomb, whatever, it's a C. It's good for the deck to have access to. It's not
C minus. Wait, but the PR is better, isn't it?
The PR.
It's a bottom deck bomb.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
I think so. It's a blue card.
I mean, yeah, alright, sure. Bottom deck and clock bombs are like anti-change. They're interchangeable, if you ask me. So this is just worse because that's even an easier color to fix.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Isn't there fierce attacks? 2175. When another game trade attacks, this gains 1k for the turn. At Encore Step, if you have no rested characters in the front row, you can pay 1 to save this card. It's nothing special. It is nothing special. This card's cute.
Actually, this is fine. This is like, I might even give this a C minus.
Alright. I think this card is like really whatever.
I like the pay 1 plus effects and standby decks.
Okay, sure. This card is cute. Yeah, fine. FD, no items. Alright, next card. This is a D. Nothing special. 1-0. Oh no. Oh no. So if you have the 1-1 green event in your memory, this is what the hell? It's a 5k 2 soul. Oh my god.
Dude, it's a 1-0 5k.
This is
with
terrible.
hand encore.
It does have hand encore.
In 2016, this would be like
still unplayable. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. It would be okay.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
You just play 3 Izuna and your opponent wouldn't have anything to reverse. Oh, there really was a 1-0 that gained a -1 level on stage.
But it's also just
not good. This is very bad against the builds that run like the clock bomb. Oh wait, no. It has a very, very noticeable fail case. Let's give it an F. One moment.
Oh shit.
Okay, next card. No, we're not playing this. I don't care if it can be 12k, we're not playing this. 226k, -1 level while you have 4 more game characters in hand. If it said -1 level, -1 cost, then maybe we think about this.
Would you even think about this?
No, I wouldn't. But if it was like a 1-1 It was a 1/1 that could marker. It was a 1/1 that could marker anything from like
Now
waiting
you're
room.
asking for the impossible. That's clearly
Yeah, I
too
mean
strong.
it would be like no, it would be a 7/5. That's it.
Too
With some
strong.
incidental. All right, man. Okay. Speaking of cards that are too strong, 1/1 similar beings event. Look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to 2 game characters you
Dude,
find there to your
this
hand.
could be Pot of
Put
Greed.
the rest.
How could
Yeah,
that
you're
not
right.
be?
It could.
How could that not be?
Well, it's not. It's not Pot of Greed because Pot of Greed cost you no stock. This is not a terrible card.
I think the
It's not a.
1/1 part.
It's not. It is not a terrible card. Like sometimes you just +1 off this. It's just not a good card. Like it's not a card I ever want to run.
And sometimes you don't +1 off this.
Look, if you had something really stupid, like say, if you had a how stupid would a card need to be in order for this to be run? Say you had like a 1/0 3K, which gains like 1K for every game trait when it comes into play from either hand or memory, and it was also usual
and
code.
it clock kicked everything in reverse for free. And you know,
I would play that.
Yeah.
I would definitely play that. Yeah, no, not the greatest. Anyway, that's the end of green. And we'll be back with blue at some point in the future.